Sport has a unique power to build profound and lasting unity. Sport inspires dreams and empowers the world to achieve them. Here in South Korea, the legacy of the Pyeongchang 2018 Olympic and Paralympic Winter Games, so close at hand, the way sports lets humanity dream together resonates vividly. Pyeongchang 2018 was a game of peace and hope. Its message resounded around the world. In the unified march of North and South Korea at the opening ceremony, we saw a dream that many thought impossible come alive on one of the largest and most watched sporting events on this planet. A dream of togetherness became a reality in the presence of the Olympic rings, the international symbol of sport and Olympic values: excellence, friendship, respect. Over 18 years ago, the international community, led by the United Nations, defined the 8th Millennium Development Goal, from fighting extreme poverty and promoting gender equality to combating disease and partnering for development. All are critically important. Each goal was there to help build peace, but peace itself was not an explicit objective. In 2015, after a long process and a series of public consultations, the Millennium Development Goals expanded to become 21 Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. The 16th goal, peace, justice, and strong institutions, was introduced, finally focusing on actions aimed at the establishment of peaceful and inclusive society for sustainable development. And one of the tools that has become increasingly prominent is the pursuit of peace is sports. I am proud and fortunate to have been deeply embedded in the field of sports and peace for many years in Jordan, where I founded the international NGO Generations for Peace 11 years ago. I am proud that Generation for Peace continues to carry my late father, His Majesty King Hussein's legacy, and reflects on one of the key cornerstones of King Abdullah II's values. The integral role of sports was my inspiration. The Generations for Peace vision is to harness the unique power of sports to guide leaders of young people to speak and teach its universal language, and so to instill the culture of understanding, tolerance, and peace amidst the chaos of violent conflict. Today, I want to focus on what we at Generations for Peace have learned in countless communities around the world since we applied our Sports for Peace methodology over a decade ago. As we dream together, I hope the following 4 lessons impact the way we use sports to build peace around the world. Lesson number 1. We must view sports as a multifaceted and universal language. Approached strategically, it can achieve a broad range of local and globally oriented goals. Sports and peace organizations worldwide work to develop sports skills and competition, to promote healthy lifestyles, and to integrate specific education in sports-based activities, to build peace and transform conflict, the so-called Sports Plus approach. Sports is our entry point. But after that, participation of community members is integral to our approach and is often linked with developmental benefits. Participation alone does not result in building peace. Rather, it's the quality, approach, and implementation of sports-based programs that are the true mechanisms of conflict transformation. This leads to the second lesson. For us, integration on all levels is key. Sports is a powerful contributor to conflict transformation, peace building, and developmental efforts. But sports cannot achieve major changes alone. For any change to be effective, those targeted and ultimately impact need to accept the approach, the tools, the methodologies, and perhaps most importantly, the actors who lead that change. Their opinions need to be taken into account. Their resources and help, appropriately introduced to each specific context, must be accepted and used. Then, sports-based activities need to be carefully adapted and integrated into other approaches. Education is key to successful integration. The third lesson we have learned is that in the context of using sports for peace building, there is no such thing as a singular best practice. No program, approach, or solution will map seamlessly into every unique conflict scenario. Conflict will never conform to a set of rigid rules or principles. It is fluid, changing all the time. And as it changes, so do the people affected by it, adapting in order to survive. This means that we, as the Sports for Peace community, must also deepen our appreciation of the important nuances of different contexts. We must not simply go to a foreign country or communities to deliver sports-based interventions. We must instead carefully select, train, guide, mentor, and support local youths to decide with their peers and elders what their community needs and how to affect that change and what the best response are for those needs. And all that must be done using any and all existing resources the community has available, even in the midst of conflict. This brings me to my final lesson. Peace and sport only go hand in hand if everyone has equal access and everyone has equal opportunity to lead. The sustained involvement of young people in sports for peace initiatives is integral to the creation of lasting peace in local and global settings. We engage young people with sports in their own communities, contexts, and environments so that they can transform existing conflicts and build peace from the grassroots that will be passed from this generation to the next. If we dream together, I have no doubt that together we can achieve unity, achieve progress, and achieve peace.